welcome to the We Only Do One Take podcast. It's the only podcast in the world that is a complete shit show. I am Turch, and with me is my co-host, the CEO, the man in quarantine. It's Kieran. How are you doing, buddy?
Thank you very much, and hello, podcast world. It's good to be back for another quarantine special event. I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling pumped up, Turch. And I'd like to start off with a rant.
Oh, please.
Normally, this is the part of the show where you make fun of me and I make fun of you. But I'm now stuck in isolation.
I'm very proud of
thanks to
our
dictator, Dan. And I... not too long ago, my housemates and I were stuck in isolation.
You were.
And I was being very, very socialist because I won't name names. Let's just call this person BC.
Uh-huh.
Had gone to the gym, had gone to an exposure site, and then had been told he was in a tier 1 site and had to quarantine for 14 days, and us living with him had to quarantine as well. But we could have sent him into hotel quarantine.
Yes.
But we and I were diplomatic and said, no, I can't do that, because what happens next month if I go to a tier 1 site accidentally? You would send me off to hotel quarantine.
That's right.
Plus, we're all working from home. Anyway, long story short, another housemate of mine, let's just call this one NC, decided to go to a chemist. But not the local chemist, the warehouse of chemists.
Ah, yes.
In one of the hot, spottiest spots of... You know how I was saying Leverton has never had a case of COVID?
You know what? You told
But
Jeff...
the suburbs all around us,
Yeah.
it's like... You know what I mean? It's like that's the enemy. Mm-hmm. The enemy's out there. It's like we're in Vietnam, and COVID's all in the jungle around us. But we're fine. Yeah. We're in Saigon. We're partying.
Yeah.
We're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my housemate decides to go into the jungle to fight the Viet Cong. That's basically what happened.
Is obviously the chemist that you usually go to doesn't have the drugs that he requires.
Sleeping pills. It's called alcohol.
It's true. Just a quick nip of whiskey that gets the children to sleep.
For someone who goes to bed at 8 o'clock, no shit. If you're a 32-year-old male who goes to bed at 8 o'clock and you have difficulty falling asleep, that is not my problem. That is not a natural time to go to bed.
That's very true. I don't know why. Because he gets up at 6?
Oh, probably. I don't know. I'm fast asleep. I'm a midnight 1 a.m. type of guy who goes to bed. You know, I go to bed then, and then I wake up at about 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Sometimes 9, sometimes 10 a.m. It just depends.
Just depends on how busy you are with your very, very intense job that is setting work online for idiot students. I also have
that's right.
And also decided to do psychology. Oh.
The academic world does not start before 10 a.m. Church.
I don't think the government world ever starts. so I feel like we're actually doing the same
We
job.
call those weekdays.
Nothing like a lazy Saturday afternoon. It's Wednesday.
So anyway, back in isolation.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know how to do it this time round.
Yeah.
I've already started drinking. The drinking has started since 5.
Jeez, what have you got in there? That looks like a chalice of alcohol.
Well, the small glasses don't cut it anymore. You need to up the ante. It was just yesterday that I had posted it for the first time in a very long time on my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
Thorpey90 about my wonderful exercise workout.
Yeah, you did well.
And burning a shit ton of calories in less than an hour. And now that's going to be on pause for the next 2 weeks, so I might as well get shit-faced.
True.
And eat junk food.
I must admit...
And have a party.
I'm very proud of myself. Today was my... I've been trying to run faster and longer and all that sort of stuff. And today was the first time
Church, I'm going to give you some frank advice here. You won't be able to do it. You can't do it. You're too small. You're tiny.
It's
Your
true.
legs aren't long enough. You're like one of those little Chihuahua dogs, trying to keep up with its owner. Like that's you running.
Have you seen Dweez run? He's a machine. He'll take it. I have to keep up with him. Jesus Christ. But I've been doing well. It's my first run today that I ran 4Ks, and each kilometer I ran under 7 minutes. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was...
that's impressive.
It was a big step forward for me, and I'm very proud of myself. I wasn't feeling it today, and I still went, and I'm very proud. But tomorrow, I'm very excited to say that, and this is probably really boring for everyone involved, but I am getting a new pair of runners delivered tomorrow, and I'm very excited because my old runners are very much destroyed. That sort of sense.
If you are under the age of 30, stop listening to this podcast because we're about to go into talking about runners, and I'm about to move into talking about smoking meat.
Okay, please.
Which means that we're now basically over 30.
We are. I was talking. Speaking of that, I was saying to Jess, we're meant to get married on the 9th of October, literally in about a month. And obviously it's been postponed because of this lovely COVID lockdown that we have here in the whole of Australia, except for Western Australia.
Well, not Western Australia, Tasmania, South Australia, Northern Territory.
Anywhere where there's less than 5 people.
Cook Islands.
Anywhere there's less than 5 people.
Anywhere where you still have to ride a kangaroo or horse to work, which is half the land mass of Australia.
Compared to the East Coast Australia, if you have to set your clocks back a couple of hours plus 10 to 20 years, they're not in lockdown pretty much.
No, they're not. No.
But I said to Jess, this is really... I've been checking the COVID data every single day because I just love it. I just want to know when we get to that 70% so I can stop wearing masks. I can go cough on old people on the train again. It's going to be a fantastic time. But I go to Jess, my age group is really letting down the COVID thing. And she goes, what do you mean? You're in the same group as me. I'm like, no, Jess. I'm in the...
You're under 30s at the moment. Shame on you, Turt. Shame on you and your cohort. You are letting the team down. I'm very disappointed. This is why I'm the CEO and you're not.
And I thought Jess is like, fuck you, man. I'm like, fuck you. I'm just in that next age group there.
Look, I am officially a part of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, so I'm sure that we can turn it into some kind of religious event.
I knew you weren't an atheist, you motherfucking asshole. Yeah. I told you. You were just like, no, I'm not an atheist. And you believe in a fucking spaghetti monster. You're just as crazy You're just as crazy as my nonna.
Oh, good.
Is that a compliment? Is that not a compliment? I don't know.
Well, I sort of take that as, I can cook well, I can eat well, I can banter well. I can be racist. Oh, yeah. Italians are racist, right? Yeah. I can drink.
They always say that like
I will accept your honorary Italian
Each
title.
Asian culture hates each other, right? Like the Chinese hate the Japanese, the Vietnamese hate the Chinese, all that sort of thing, right? Am I right in saying that? You've been to Asia.
I think so, yeah.
The Europeans hate each other just as much. We just don't talk about it. It's just like... We just don't talk about it. But like everyone knows that the Greeks and Italians hate each other. Everyone hates the French. The Spanish can do whatever the fuck they want over there because no one gives a shit about them or their economy or their food, for that matter. And no one fucks with the Germans because we all know what they did to the Jews. But the Jews end up getting their own country. So I wouldn't say a great deal, but, not bad overall.
Yeah. As someone who's sort of like history illiterate, yeah.
I would have thought, it's something that happens when you turn over 30. You either get into podcasting, but we've already done that when we pass that. You get into golf. We've already played golf together, so we're past that. You definitely getting a nice fresh cut grass, but we don't have that.
I get a hard on for fresh cut.
Yeah, me
grass.
too, man. Me too.
And the oval that I run at next to it, there's another oval which is like the premium oval in the suburb I live in, and that's got really good grass.
And you've got that you got your next on your neighbor on the block who cuts all your grass for you. So he
that's
your
right. Puts my bins
nice.
out, cuts the grass. Yeah,
does a good job. There's other things that people get into when they're over 30. One is like World War II history.
Oh fuck.
And
You know what? I watched World War II in color last year.
You did. I remember that.
Okay.
And the next thing you do is getting into smoked meats, and this is about what you're about to tell me. You have hit every. If we were playing over 30s bingo, 30 to 40-year-old bingo, everything would already be ticked off, and we haven't even started the episode really.
Well, Church, let me tell you about this smoked meat.
Please.
I've got a smoker in the backyard.
Yeah.
And I'm about to fire it up. And I've got a pork butt. And I've been I think I've done more research than my PhD on how to smoke this. This pork butt and what to do and the temperatures. So I've got the game plan. It's going to be smoked for 16 hours.
Yeah. Is it gas or fire? Or wood fire?
It is a gas wood smoker.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's gas, but there's pellets in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the
Otherwise
pellets,
you wouldn't get the
the
smoky
pellets
flavour.
get the
yeah.
the smoky flavor. So I've got my training wheels on for the meat smoking, and I'm eventually going to work my way up to buying the Traeger.
I'm very impressed. You remind me now of that video.
And and on the day I've got to make sure I know where the wind's coming from, because the wind's going to influence the vents and the smoked meat. And
so you're going to start at like 6 o'clock in the morning so that it's ready at 8 o'clock at night, sort of thing. Have you ever seen the video of what's the guy's name? Mark Zuckerberg. He did a live stream once, and him and his friends in the backyard with his wife were smoking meats. And he's talking to the camera, and everyone's just asking him, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're smoking meats." And this goes on for like 4 hours, while he's smoking. He's like, "Oh, yep, we're just smoking some meats, And someone did a supercut of him just saying smoking meats, and it goes for like 2 or 3 minutes. It's a fantastic video.
Wow.
I'm going to share it to you after the show here. But
I'm looking forward to that share. Church, it is. I know what I want to do in life now. I found my meaning. I just want to have a restaurant or open it up on a Saturday, and I just smoke meat, and then people come and pay me money, and they eat smoked meat.
Sounds good.
It just sounds great.
Sounds good.
It sounds fantastic. I think that would just be amazing.
Oh, you got to have a dream, Kieran, and
Yeah.
you're single. Ladies, he's single, and he's ready to smoke your meats.
And let's just forget about more my education. It's just going to be cooking food.
Doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter. You can always return to whatever the hell you do as a job.
I don't even know what I do as a job, Church. All I know is right now I've gone from double featured down to standard pour. I'm almost out of my beverage, and we're not even into this episode yet.
That's very true. I'm going to tell you,
tonight's podcast is proudly brought to you by the Palais Cinemas. I may have stolen your heart, but please don't steal me. Well, I definitely stole the drink.
There you go.
The glass.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
My mum doesn't get... My mum's a teacher. I'm telling you. My mum doesn't get the fact that you sometimes don't have busy days at work.
Who, me?
Like my mum. My mum just doesn't get that at all. So my little cousin...
Oh, you or me or both of us?
Both of us. Anybody. She's a teacher. So she's like, I'm the busiest person in the world, right? So, and every teacher's like that. There's no, but sometimes you just don't have busy days. But my little cousin, she she's doing an internship at PricewaterhouseCoopers, right?
Yeah.
And, she started it last year. PwC. She started it last year, so she was in the office for like a month, and then we went into lockdown. They gave her a laptop to do work from home. Now, she's an intern, so she's, doesn't have any skills really or anything like that. So the jobs they give her is basically be online and convert things to PowerPoint or PDF or whenever they need her to do something like that. So we were just talking in a group when you could go into families' homes and discuss things. And she's like, last Thursday I didn't do anything. Converted this to PDF, but they gave me up to Monday to do it. So I did it, and then I set my email to release on Friday just to say, oh look, I got it in before the end of the day.
Oh, she's learning
And I'm like,
fast.
oh, you're doing very
She's
well.
learning fast.
You're doing very well. She even came over to our place to drop the dog off to get groomed. She's like, oh, technically I'm working. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Me too. We had a coffee.
Yep,
And,
yep.
you know,
Yep.
we wiggled my mouse and she, you know, she was on her phone. But my mum just doesn't get, what do you mean they've given you nothing to do? How can you not have anything to do? It's like, sometimes, you know, you've done all your
Sometimes
work.
there's just nothing to do.
Sometimes it's just nothing to do. Just like your 12 weeks off a year. Oh.
What did she say to that?
Oh, she just doesn't like me sometimes. What can you say? I've told you she beat me up when I said a joke, I guess something similar to that, or probably something really sexist, because, you know, it's funny. I just like to stir her up. But I just had my first COVID vaccine.
Uh-huh.
And we went for a walk with them like that weekend. So it was like Monday, you know. And I said that, and we were walking in a public place, like at the front of a cafe, and she just goes, backhands me. Bang! Yeah. And
Good.
Physically, you could audibly hear the slap. Like there was a good connection. Right on my vaccine, like where I got my vaccine. I was like,
yeah.
Fuck, you know? And my dad's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like yelling at her. And she's like, what? Because that's where I got my vaccine. And dad's pissing himself laughing. Mom's like, I'm so sorry.
You probably deserved it. And in fact,
look,
if I was there, I would have said, hit him harder.
The fact that I got that response means...
That's not how you hit him. This is how you hit him. I'll show you.
The fact that I got that response means the joke was probably really funny.
Yeah, probably very funny.
I've got a bit of a rant.
I
got a bit of a rant.
Yeah?
Today I was playing guitar, and then suddenly this riff just came out. I'm like, oh, banger of a riff. Like, you know, light bulb moment. Like, yeah, and I recorded it like just a little bit, just to get a demo. And in my head, I could hear the drums and I could hear the bass, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this sounds like a riff by Black.
A riff, this is like a really good fart. You know, a really good riff is like a really good fart.
But better.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what, it sounds like a Black Sabbath riff, like the band Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I love Black Sabbath, you know.
Yeah.
Listen to all their albums, all their years, all that sort of thing. I love them. Great. And then I played it for Jessica. Jess, listen to this riff I just came up with, you know, played it. And she goes, yeah, that's really cool, really heavy, you know, real dirty, like Black Sabbathy. I'm like, yeah, that's what I think. But I think I've just written a Black Sabbath song. I've just heard this Black Sabbath song, lives in the back of the mind. I can't remember what it is. But I think it's just a Black Sabbath song, and I just worked out how to play it, but I think it's a riff that I've made up. She goes, no, I can't think of what Black Sabbath song it is, blah, blah, blah. Oh, very frustrating, all day. So all day today, I wrote this riff in the morning, and then for like 4 hours, I was scrolling through Black Sabbath songs to figure out if I actually copied it. And then I thought it was like a Lucifer song, and then I thought it was like, a witchcraft song. I couldn't find out who this was. Anyway, I finally found it, and this is the riff. Hopefully you can hear this.
Who did you plagiarize it from? All right.
Here's the riff.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
You hear that? So that's just
It is very Black Sabbathy.
Anyway, it is Black Sabbath. That's Into the Void by Black Sabbath off my favorite Black Sabbath album, Master of Reality. And I was like, of fucking course. Like, I just, you know, it's the last song on the record. And, you know, it's one of those ones you don't get to very often. But obviously I've heard it and I'm like, oh, that's great. And I've just worked out how to play it. And I thought, oh, I've written this riff. No, I just worked out how to play a Black Sabbath riff, which is fucking awesome. But oh, that's
congratulations.
Very
I wouldn't
annoying.
really say that's a rant. I would just sort of say that's
It's frustrating.
Look, all I got from that is you did no work today.
Well, you know.
You had a slow day today.
I sent emails out today, all day, and I talked on the phone. I chatted to people. I did a balancing act with some money thing. We're all good.
Oh, well, congrats. Well done.
Oh,
well done. We've I've got 2 extra days of leave this year. I don't know what I did to deserve them, but I'll take them nevertheless.
How'd you get them?
I don't know. Work just gave them. Gave them to everyone.
That's pretty nice.
So, booyah.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong.
Well, look, save them up. Save them up because next year we've got a Bucks party.
We do.
We destroy. And you might need the Monday off the day after.
Do you know, Church, for this Bucks that's not happening, I had booked a hotel for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, checking out Monday.
So you definitely do need those extra 2 days.
And had arranged Monday not to work.
Perfect. I cancelled my leave. I had the Friday and the Monday off, same exactly what you just said. And I've just said, nah, I'm not. I cancelled it, and yeah. So just I'll save it for later. We'll do our Phillip Island show, our final Phillip Island show.
I'm looking forward to the final Phillip Island show.
It's going to be an exciting time.
It will be amazing.
It's going to be exciting time.
It'll be very exciting.
You just have to bring. You just have to bring your microphone this year. That's the trick, I find.
This year, this is the one that I might actually be able to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And we will pre-record it.
I'll just release it.
So it's not on New Year's Eve when I'm likely to be shit-faced.
You always say to me, like, when stupid, like, you're like, I'm like, always like, we'll do it on New Year's Day after we wake up and some breakfast. And that way we could talk about our celebration with the first one. And then you're like, yeah. And then as soon as it hits about 11:30 to 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, you're like, Touch, let's do it. Let's do the show now. And I'm like, no, Kieran, it's not the right time. You know.
In my head, it is the right time before I jump in the spa.
It's true.
Yeah. Very, very true.
You got some news?
Do I have news?
Yeah.
I do have some news. And I want to quickly do a shout out to my good friend Hung.
Yeah.
Who just got permanent residency today.
Hey. Now you're stuck with us in here too.
It's been a 10-year battle, but he finally got permanent residency. So that was very exciting. So I actually started my drinking at 3 o'clock today.
So you're just as busy at work as me.
Yeah. Couple slammed for combining the worst things on the internet. What do you think the worst things on the internet? Two of the worst things on the internet.
Zoophilia and Twitter.
No, you are wrong. They are not the 2 worst things on the internet.
Okay, what is?
An idiotic couple decided to combine the highly dangerous milk cart challenge into their gender reveal party.
Okay, continue on.
Yeah.
How did they combine these 2 things?
What do you mean?
How did they combine it?
Okay, well... okay. They decided that they were going to have a gender reveal party.
Yeah.
But because... And fuck me, if you ever do a gender reveal party, we are no longer friends.
No.
I will not go to a gender reveal party. I will go to a gender reveal party if there's lots of booze.
Yeah.
And I can do a podcast at the same time.
It'll just be me.
That I will go to.
You go, oh, you guys are having a baby. And I'm like, yeah, it's either a boy or a girl. There's only 2 genders. Here we go. Fight me. And
I'd be like, and it's getting blue from me. Blue.
Yes, blue's good.
Isn't that the day where you just got the See, I don't know what to get babies as a gift.
Nappies. You just buy the mum nappies.
What do I figured this out. I'm useless until the child's about 3.
Yeah, me too.
I have no value. I cannot provide any input, any value until the child is at least 3.
Yeah.
Even then they think I'm hideous.
Yeah.
So really I'm, Really, I'm there for when they're a teenager and they need their drugs or they need to be picked up from a party because, they're too drunk or they've taken drugs and they need someone who's caring and compassionate and who can understand the situation.
Yeah.
And then go, it's okay. Your father Turch, he's might be disappointed at you, but I'll sort him out. It's okay.
Bit hard to,
and
I think it's going to be a very different generation.
And you know what? We
children.
won't tell your mother Jess because she'll just panic. That's
definitely okay. One, stop grooming my child. Number two, I think it's going to be very hard for me as a father. Maybe if I have a girl, but definitely if I have a boy. Being the libertarian that I am, it's going to be like, well, you got yourself into this situation, like. You can work it out. I'm pretty sure you'd be okay. If I got through
Uncle
life
Kieran,
this far,
Uncle Kieran will come and bail you out. That's fine.
Perfect. You're rich doctor, Uncle Kieran. Oh, can he give us drugs? No, he can't. He's not that kind of doctor.
So it will be fine. Titch, you will be honoured that I would be in your child's life. That they could have the wisdom
I'm
passed down from me to them.
That you're in my life already, so just take that. Take that. Child's life we'll talk about later on. My life we'll start from there.
Am I banned? Are you doing what my brother's done to me? Banned me after I'm not allowed into the house after 4:30 p.m.
Why? You come over to my house always after 4:30 p.m. When have you been to my house earlier than 4:30?
Well, he's got kids.
Oh, okay.
And number one, after 4:30, they're trying to wind them down, get them to have dinner, baths, teas, going to bed. Uncle Kieran turns up. Wow, the fun just starts. So there's Tickle Monster and there's hide and seek and there's yelling and there's screaming and there's everything that goes along with that.
It's like when we take care of Jess's nephew. And I'm Zeal. I'm fun. He doesn't even know that I have a real name. I am just Zeal. It's just Uncle in Italian, obviously, but it's like
for fun.
Zeal, where's Zeal? I want to see Zeal. All right, here we go. It's fun time, excellent party time. Oh well, speaking of
my brother left me with my niece, my nephew, and the other nephew, and he was gone only for 15 minutes. And in the time that he had left, I was holding my nephew, who I swear has ADHD, who I was holding him up high, who managed to knock the lampshade, and that had broken and fallen onto the ground and smashed. And I was like, well, we'll close the door. And then they're like, let's play hide and seek. And I was like, all right, don't go into that room. I'm being a responsible adult. That room's off limits. Okay, so then we're playing hide and seek, and I found them, and I'm running to chase one of them, and I sort of slide past the freezer, the freezer door, and I sort of grab that because I'm like getting off balance, and I open up the freezer door, and my brother's freezer was just jam packed, so all this fucking food fell with the ice all over the floor. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I'll deal with that in a second. I'll keep running after the little one and tag him. And then that one had sort of tripped and hit its head, and so is now crying.
It's just a calamity.
Yeah. And a vase had also been we went near it, but enough of the vibration had sort of knocked it and it had smashed as well. So my brother walks in, he's got a child crying. He's got anyway, two others that are sort of hiding that are he did it, pointing at me. And he was only gone for 15 minutes, so I'm banned basically.
When I was about 6 or 7, maybe 7. My brother's 5 years younger than me. I was staying at my grandparents' house on something, I don't know. And Nonna was like, "Oh, Nonna went out somewhere." And Nonna was like, "Oh, we're gonna have fish and chips for lunch." So Anthony and my little brother, let's get into the car. Let's go get fish and chips. And despite the fact my Nonno is more Italian than any human you've ever seen in your life, you've met him.
I have,
he loves it. His favorite thing from the fish and chip shop is a Chico roll.
Oh, lovely. Brilliant. Love it.
No one else in the world knows what that is. And no one should know what that is. It's disgusting. Anyway, my brother goes, "No, I don't feel like going." So Nonna went, "All right." So he left him in the house. 2 years old, 3 years old, whatever. And we came back from Fetish, had a good time. Nothing was broken. And then my mum came over, and Nonna was like, "Oh yeah, left Stefan here. He was fine." It's like, what? And he's like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." I feel like that's you. Oh well, I respect that.
Hey,
I respect that.
I wouldn't leave a kid alone. I'll take them to the pub with me.
That's very true. Drink your damn pub squash. Come on, mate. He's up on those. He's up on those.
This is an educational experience. Don't end up like anyone like here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, Kieran, we're in lockdown.
We are.
And one of the things is people are looking for new ways to get money, like a side hustle to save up for their new house or a new car or go on holiday and all that sort of stuff. You need a side hustle, you know? And
that's right. You need a side hustle these days.
And you know where, and women always feel like they need a side hustle and extra money. And you know where you get your news from if you're a woman? Vogue magazine. So I found this article from Vogue magazine, and it said the 10 of the highest paying side hustles in Australia in 2021. And for some reason, when I looked at it on social media, it had thousands of comments.
OnlyFans? Right.
Well, that's what I thought too. I thought it's got thousands of comments, and I'm like, how does it have thousands? Looked in there, I was expecting OnlyFans or that sort of thing. And no, people were just going, all of these are just real jobs and take years of work to understand and do properly. You can't, it's not really a side hustle. This just becomes your job. And I'm like, okay, let me have a read of these. So I went through the list and I pulled out a few. Now, some of them are like ghost writing. I'm like, okay, that's a very, or helping write blogs. I'm like, okay. And then there are a few jobs in there, or a few, what's it called? High paying side hustles that I was just like, interesting.
See, I would sort of see side hustle as going to a market and selling your candles.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Uber Eats delivery driver.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, here's a 5 out of the 10 that I picked out that I
selling
thought were...
liver treats. Or cinnamon shoe inserts.
Exactly.
They're all side hustles. Now, if you want cinnamon shoe inserts, you contact me. I'm your guy. We've got still plenty of cinnamon shoe.
Email us at weonlydowanttakepodcast@gmail.com, and Kieran will get in touch with you maybe within the next month. But anyway, I selected 5 of these, and you tell me if any of these are side hustles.
Okay.
Website creator / designer on behalf of people, like making websites for people.
I'm actually going to say 10, 15 years ago, side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Today full-time job.
Yeah.
Today, with how complex websites are, or the back end, full-time job.
Full-time job, yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yep.
2D / 3D modeler.
What the fuck is a 2D, 3D modeler?
Like for games or graphics or design, art design.
Art design, full-time job.
Full-time job, okay. Work in animation.
These are actually complex skills which you have to develop.
Wait a sec. I got another one here. Okay, ready? Video editing. Is that a full-time job?
All the video editors I know, that's a full-time job.
That's a full-time job. Okay, and the last one is to work in SEO. Do you know what SEO is? Search
engine optimization.
Okay, so there's 5 jobs
video editing and SEO could be part-time jobs.
Maybe.
But
if you have the skill set.
But a side hustle, even if you're doing that as a side huscle on the weekends, that's going to occupy your entire...
Yeah, which is probably
not a bad thing.
That's a 16 hour, 2 full work days.
But why would you do that as a side hustle when you could just turn it into a full-time job?
Full-time job, exactly right.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, okay, so Vogue is telling me that these positions here are side hustles, which none of them are. Okay, fine, whatever. But then I thought to myself, okay, I'm looking at the list. Maintaining and designing websites, 2D, 3D modeling, animation, video editing, and search engine optimization. All of these jobs, and I looked at the statistics, are a 70 to 30% split between men and women doing these jobs. Predominantly men are doing these jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, obviously, always happy for women to get into whatever profession that they want. But then I thought to myself, the problem I'm having with this more than anything else is this article was written on the Vogue website, or for the Vogue magazine.
Yeah.
Now, I had to look it up. What is the demographic for Vogue magazine? And apart from women reading them at hairdressers, it'll be the over 40 to 50-year-old market, right? 45 to 50-year-old women who probably don't work or probably work very minimally, who most likely don't know anything about technology apart from maybe some social media. And unless they are in, we're talking a very generalization here, they're probably not in the industries we're talking about here, right? So,
no offense to 50-year-olds plus, I don't think they're doing a lot. They have a lot of those skills in digital editing and digital design.
So here's the thing.
No offense, it's just you haven't grown up with that.
It's just not the thing. So this is what I'm thinking now. A 50-year-old woman buys a copy of Vogue magazine to read, or finds a copy of Vogue magazine while she's at the hairdressers waiting around and reads this list and goes, yes, I'm going to take up search engine optimization as a side hustle. Not only and then actually goes out, learns everything there is to know about search engine optimization. So that's learning coding, understanding about search words, a whole bunch of things. Or learning how to video edit, which I do video editing very poorly, and it's very time consuming and it takes a lot to learn, especially if you want to get really good at it. All of the 3D modeling is very, very difficult.
See, massage therapy is a side hustle.
Yeah. Making your own candles. Side hustle.
Side hustle.
Or you know what?
Liver treats.
You know what?
Dehydrating liver for dogs for liver treats. Side hustle.
Refereeing basketball or something like that.
Yeah, side hustle.
Side hustle. Search engine optimization, making and designing websites and video editing. None of these are side hustles, and I can't see the demographic of Vogue. So if I was to read, and I talked to Jess about this, I'm like, do any of these jobs here sound appetizing to you? She goes, no, if I wanted to, exactly what you said, Kieran, do a side hustle, I'd make dog treats for my business. And it would just be wrapped up in the business. Yeah, but that makes sense. So I don't know what Vogue was trying to do with this article, like who the audience was, what the market is, and why this would...
Anna Wintour, you need to have greater editorial control over Vogue.
I just thought it was very funny. So, terrible article, Vogue. Kieran, you got some more news?
I do. By the way, Anna Wintour does a masterclass on leadership.
Well, there you go.
Is
that her side hustle?
I've watched that. I think that is her side hustle.
Good side hustle.
She just turned up and they interviewed her, and then other people edited the video.
See, you're gonna hire video editors
and did the SEO. And her side hustle was just turning up and being interviewed.
Yeah, well,
hilarious. Okay. You know how sometimes people are incompetent and they're in a way rewarded for it?
Yeah.
Okay. A person has thrown out pizza dough. Mm-hmm. Now, you wouldn't think any of that. They've thrown it in the dumpster, the trash can. You know those big dumpster things that shops have?
Yeah.
Out the back, the big dumpster thing. Okay, so a Domino's employee task at the pizzeria has thrown out the pizza dough. What started as a blob has now fully contained the dumpster, and it has overtopped its metal confines thanks to the temperatures that hovered in the 90s.
So
The Domino's Pizza general manager did not immediately respond to interview requests.
So obviously they're throwing out the dough. The yeast is still active in
Yeah,
there.
it's still there, inactive.
It needs to get like a certain temperature. I think it's like 30 to 35 degrees, which is about 90 Fahrenheit. And so this thing is just taken over the whole,
Just taken off the whole dumpster bin, and then has now gone over the edges, and it's like melting over.
That's amazing. That's great. That's just a level of stupid. Like, didn't he even put it in a bag or something like that? They just shoved it straight into the bin and just
throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
And these people want more money. These people want a higher minimum wage.
They can have a high minimum wage. They can have a high minimum wage when I can order McDonald's from Uber Eats, and they can remember to put the spoon in when I order a sundae.
We had the exact same issue on the weekend. They forgot. They just ordered a thick shake.
Or the straw.
I just ordered a thick shake or iced coffee or something. I ordered a sundae, and it didn't come with a spoon or a straw. That's, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Just those little things. Those little attention to details.
Then
you can have a high minimum wage.
Well, here's one for you. Very simple. Man tragically dies after gluing his penis to seal it off. Using glue to seal off his penis.
Sorry, he died? That's not good.
So, yeah.
No, I can just think, Church, have you not been a kid and sort of gone, I wonder what happens if you, like, staple it or glue it?
Yeah. So this guy here, so a man tragically dies after using glue to seal off his penis. A man tragically lost his life after finding himself in a sticky situation during a drug-fueled sexual encounter with his girlfriend. So how's this? A man has died after using strong glue to seal off his penis in a drug-fueled romp with his girlfriend because they didn't have a condom. Salman Mirza, 25, reportedly applied epoxy adhesive to his manhood as a substitute for protection to stop his fiancée from getting pregnant before having sex in a hotel. The couple, both reportedly addicted to drugs, checked into the hotel, and he was found outside unconscious the next day. He used the glue
What a fucking idiot.
as a contraceptive method.
What a fucking idiot.
Oh. Honey, just wait. It's got to dry.
Could you imagine being the coroner having to write that report?
Fantastic. Good.
That is
Darwinism.
It's Darwinism.
You know what? If you don't, it's not the best, safest method, but pulling out is infinitely safer than gluing your pee hole shut. You know what I mean? Like, weigh it up, people. Weigh it up. But I'm sure it was a good idea at the time. At the time. Now, Kieran, I asked you to listen to a podcast called the Financial Feminist Podcast, or Feminist Financial. And
you did.
I'm sure that you're going to come back to that one day and bring us in some clips.
Church. Okay, I'll tell you where I'm up with the Financial Feminist Podcast. I've listened.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand the presenter's voice. I don't know what it is. And there's parts, look, and I, I'm going to bring clips in. I'm going to bring clips in. Some of it I go, yeah, fair enough. Probably some sound advice.
Mm-hmm.
But other times,
well, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear it. But in the meantime, I thought I'd go a completely different direction. And today, we're going to listen to the Foot Fetish podcast. Now, there's nothing greater in my life than is to listen to a podcast. I'm really interested to hear what these people say, because I think it's going to be funny, because it's going to be ridiculous, and people are weird. And then to get your partner, like, I got Jess to listen to this too, thinking she's not going to like this, she's going to be annoyed, and be a bad experience for both of us, but we're going to get some good clips out of it. And then the podcast to be the worst, most boring thing that you've ever listened to.
Okay.
It was a complete 180. Look, this podcast, the sound is fantastic. The co-hosts, the hosts are pretty okay. But talk about being a useless show. So, this is episode 55 of the show itself, right? And it's called the...
Sorry, what episode? Episode 55?
55, right?
Yeah.
So, here is the show's intro. This is the song.
Souls and salutations to all you folks across the nation. Belle and Ramon welcome you to their home to talk about foot-related recreation. Big feet, small feet, smelly feet, feet and shoes and feet on the face. You want to talk about foot stuff, you're in luck. The Foot Fetish Podcast is the place.
I was 100. I heard that. I'm like, this is gonna be a fucking great time. And then nothing.
I need to
happened.
contact them.
Yeah,
I need to contact them about the cinnamon shoe inserts.
You do. Oh, so the show is hosted by two people, a guy and a girl. I didn't really catch their names, but it doesn't really matter. But the important thing is the guy is really into feet, like really into feet, and the girl is the foot actress in the foot fetish porn and they own a website together, right? So, but this guy here is completely into feet, like 100% into feet. Have a listen to this.
Occasionally, Belle, when she wakes up in the morning and I'm home, she will lounge up in the bedroom because she's a lazy sack of shit, which is fine.
I know, right? God forbid Ramon take responsibility for his own home and children.
I do it every time I'm off. Thank you very much. And the reason I do this is because occasionally you will lay there with your feet just laying out, and I'll wander
That's the only reason, not because you love me?
No, I do it because I love you too. But it's I'm getting a boner just thinking about it. So anyway.
So this guy, if this woman is in his life, obviously they're in a relationship together. So if she just has her feet out on the coffee table, up like that, he'll get an instant boner. That's what he's at like. And listen to this. He's got a very specific thing that he likes. Very, very specific type of feet thing.
Her feet will stick out. And as you all know from listening to this podcast for a few years now, morning feet is my favorite feet because they smell the most like feet.
That's why the theme song was about that.
It was.
You wake up in the morning and you look at your feet.
Yeah, oh God.
So his fetish, more than anything else, is feet. But feet...
But morning feet.
Morning feet.
Feet in the morning.
Feet in the morning.
Fresh feet.
Yeah. And I don't know what that really means. I guess one of the things that comes out of it is he likes the smell of feet, of stinky feet. Like that's his fetish.
He doesn't
as well.
like the sweaty feet. He likes the fresh feet.
Yeah, something like
the
that.
The cool feet.
Anyway, oh look, and that's the thing. The rest of this show is just them talking about absolutely nothing. I thought this would be a little bit about what's new in the foot fetish.
So like us, absolutely nothing.
But this show here is even worse than that because they continuously bicker. At least we have some sort of structure. We know where we're going.
Are they the real shit show, Turch? Are they the real shit show?
I think so. Here we go. So this guy here, look, listen to this. This is what this guy likes as well. Continuously talking about feet. But let's have a look here.
I don't have a sock fetish, but I do like socks. I like feet more, but socks are fun. It's just an extra layer to enjoy on feet. That's quite fun.
So he likes... So she got in...
Hang on. We're at episode 55. What the fuck have they talked about from episode 1
I don't know.
to 54?
I want to go back and listen to more because I'm just like, this guy just... He's like, okay, so she's obviously the actress in that kind of world, right? And they make videos for their website, like Ramona's Feet 40 porn something, right? Fine. That's whatever. But this guy here likes feet too, so he gets off on it. And then he also likes, someone sent the girl a pair of socks to wear, and he likes them in those socks, but he doesn't have a sock fetish. Okay, but then they compare. The girl compares it to something, right? Let's have a listen to this.
How men like lingerie.
Yeah.
All
exactly.
dudes are a little bit into lingerie because they're a little bit into boobs.
A little bit into boobs.
So they're saying, oh, not every guy's into lingerie. Okay, I kind of get that because they're into boobs. It's this, and they're comparing that to having feet in socks. And I'm like, whoa. This is very different. I am, as a man.
There's no like half sock.
Yeah, that's right. Like, you don't, oh, here's a little bit of toe hanging out of the sock. That's
toe,
not a good,
not
a good thing.
You don't quite get that with your socks.
No.
The socks cover all.
But the lingerie is meant to be like a tease. It's it's a good thing.
There's no sock tease.
No.
The closest thing to a sock tease are those socks that are, that look like you're not wearing any socks when you've got your runners on.
Yeah. Or I go slightly different.
There's no
direction
like
with this.
lacy, silky, see-through socks.
I guess like stockings, but they're not socks.
No, they're stockings.
Yeah. Alright, so later on in the show, they get... So these guys actually have quite an active fan base, right? I'm guessing it's just people who like to watch the porn of these women's feet, right? Pay for it. But they get erotica written in. Now, apparently in previous episodes, they used to read people's erotica they would send in on the show. So let's have a listen to some of that.
Oh.
Well, the question is, do you feel like reading some orc erotica?
I need to vet that.
You need to vet it, huh? All right.
Well, I need to at least
make
know
sure it's
what
good orc erotica.
No, I'm sure it's good. If it's written by one of our fans, I'm sure it's good.
It's written by Nylon Addict.
He's great too.
Yeah, he is great.
But I just need to make sure that it's
Okay.
like I need to be able to get into character.
So
Just fucking read it.
That's what I said. I'm like, okay, you got some content. Someone's given you on a silver platter some erotica. Just read it out. Nah, I gotta vet it first, and that way I can get into character. I'm like, no, the whole fun of it is just to enjoy and read it. Okay, so
Or fucking cut out that part and fucking read it.
yes. Okay, here's the next sort of thing. All these kind of people love Harry Potter. But I'm going to say, this show here is basically a couple bickering about nothing all the time. And I've got a clip to show that, but listen to this. So they're talking about potentially making some Harry Potter foot fetish porn. I don't know how you would do it, but let's have a listen. And listen to how much they bicker about nothing.
Well, I mean, you could do a Middle Earth sort of deal. We could do the Harry Potter one, man. That's
awesome.
going to happen. We've been talking about that since 10 years
I feel
ago.
like we could do the Harry Potter one just in our own
We keep
house. I feel like
losing
that's-
models that were great for the roles
I know.
because we're waiting so long. I mean, Jermaine's coming back in the picture. He's definitely Harry Potter. Oh, no, Shorty is a much better Harry. I don't know, actually. Jermaine has the glasses. He has the look and the sound of Harry Potter.
Also, the issue is that we've been fucking spitballing this clip idea for 12 years now.
Yeah.
And I've gone from the Luna Lovegood character. I'm the McGonagall character now.
Oh, now I'm way more turned on.
I know, right?
This is great.
Get me a fucking witch hat and I'm gonna sit on some Harry Potter.
Oh, God, I'm so turned on.
Actually,
Sorry, what? What?
Okay, so look, this show here is complete. Okay, here's a clip that I took, and I got Jess to listen to this show as well, and I took this clip and I put it together, and it's fine. And then she came in and said, "You need to clip between these two time things," and I go, "Babe, I've already got it because I know exactly what you're gonna say." Okay, if you have something like this in your podcast going forward. Because it sounds great. The podcast sounds great. But if you have something like this in your podcast in later on, take it out of your show.
It's the worst because she doesn't clean like I would clean. Like, oh, okay, this goes here and that goes there. She puts things, quote, where they belong, which is this nebulous region that seems to not exist in the physical world.
I put the
can never...
pens in the thing with the other pens. I hung the scissors up with the other
What
scissors.
thing? Look, here's my pen cup. Look, listen to that.
The pens are
It's empty, y'all. This pen thing is empty.
Look with the other pens.
What other pens?
Look with the other pens.
What
in, your
other
little, in that little mail thingy.
I don't put pens in the mail thingy. It's not what I do.
Okay,
That's not where
well,
pens-
okay, listen,
Oh, I
how
need a
was I
pen.
suppo-
I gotta now lower the computer.
How was
reach
I supposed
back.
to know that that was a pen cup if there's no fucking pens in
Because
it,
you
Simone?
gave it to me to use as a pen cup.
Fucking keep it in. Keep it in.
Keep it in. Keep it in. We don't need people to know the minor bickerings of use of which pen cup to use. My goodness gracious.
I know, I fucking love it. Keep it in. Keep it in. I love it. I want to hear more bickering. They should just call their show Bickering.
It should just be bickering. Okay. Look, let's just play this clip here because they do stuff like this, and then suddenly they do all that bickering, and then they go like this.
I guess we gotta fucking talk about feet.
We should talk about feet.
And do you know how many times they say that during the episode? My goodness gracious. Okay, so here's some other thing. They talk. Okay, one of their other fans writes in and says, "Hey, in the last episode or something like that, you made a list of actresses or actors and stuff like that have attractive feet or something. You missed a whole bunch, and here is my extensive list of actresses that have attractive feet, right?
So there are people that would be watching a movie in the cinema,
Yeah,
and then they'll see the actor's feet,
yeah,
and they may not follow the movie at all
no.
because I'll be
Just
thinking
get a-
about
get a
that
boner
actor's
from
feet.
that. Okay, so here's a clip. They've got a list from
Yeah.
this guy. He's got like 10 actresses on there. Now, we can't see the list because it's audio podcast. So you would think they would go, oh, I'm going to read out the name, and if they know them, they can talk about it. If not, they don't have to talk about it. Really easy sort of thing. Like what I did with the Vogue thing. You can't see the article, but I can tell you what's on it, and then we can discuss it. Here is their interpretation of what that means.
Which is sort of what you have to do
Yeah.
for an
What
audio
is this?
podcast.
Yeah, for an audio
What would
podcast,
I,
you
what
think
would I possibly...
for an audio podcast, you think that's what you would be doing.
Let's-
You would
Don't
just
go to
here
IMDb.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
What has she... Who is this?
Oh, I don't know. Let's go find
What
out.
would I possibly...
Let's
Don't go to IMDb.
I-
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, let me scroll down and hope for the best.
It's right there. She was on... Was that the remake of Skins or was that the original Skins?
2011, so I don't know.
Oh, that's the American remake. Okay, fuck that.
I don't know any of this
No,
Nope.
no,
Nope.
I've never heard
Nope.
of. I've never even heard of any of these.
So,
except for
there you
that
go.
Remake of Skins.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So
You meant to read it. What?
you go like, oh, Angelina Jolie. Yeah, she's attractive. What is she in? Oh, then let's look it up. But that way people can mentally picture it if they know who that is. But they just go in and go, no, I don't know who that is. Well, look her up. Look her up. Now Jess said to me, did you capture this clip here? And I go, no. She goes, oh, you tell me, and maybe you and Kieran could put it to a vote. Is it a sneeze or is it a fart?
Since the world opened back up, to the extent which it did. So feet.
Play it again.
All right, here we go.
Since the world opened back up, to the extent which it did.
That actually could be either. I remember there was one episode you did fart into the microphone and we did capture that. But Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that's just next level sort of stuff. So, she obviously
I think that was a sneeze.
yeah, I think so. To blowing
I'm
the
going
nose, I
sneeze.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she obviously
Yeah, that's
is a
what I meant, blowing
porn.
the nose, yeah.
She's an actress within that foot fetish thing, but she does other videos as well. And do you know what? I had to look it up. What vor porn is? VORE.
No idea. No idea.
It's when guys are into watching women eat them. So they're really big, or the guys are really small, and they pick them up and eat them like potato chips, I guess. Or get stepped on by big giantess type women.
What?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So it's like Snooku or whatever it is from Futurama.
Yeah, like that. But
Snoo.
but the woman is like super giant, and the guy's like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
so she makes a custom video for a person who's paid for it. Here we go.
So,
Because we had a
and a custom.
we had a
come in, yeah.
custom come in, right? And it was this guy wanted me to pretend to eat him and his friends and his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
The
The guy was great.
He mailed himself to me, and I was a giant, or I guess I wasn't a giant. He was just
He
very
shrunk
small.
himself. Yeah.
I don't know the science behind it, guys.
It's much easier to shoot. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be as tall
Yeah.
as a building.
We-
So this guy, the guy on the show is obviously the videographer. So they filmed this guy sent in obviously paper or something, models of himself to get
Yeah.
and his girlfriend, it sounds like. So this guy's paying a porn star for custom porn of him and his girlfriend getting eaten by this, I guess, porn star, but I don't even know if I would call it pornography, because it doesn't even seem like she does anything pornographic in nature. It's just a woman eating models of these people. And that's erotic for some people, apparently.
Wow. We've got to get some more guests on this podcast with some weird erotic fantasies.
So they go on and talk, speaking about actors and actresses, they talk about actors, right? Listen to this. Listen to this for someone who just did that. So this person just ate some things and got filmed and sold it for $100 or whatever. Listen to this now.
Fucking hell. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
let's try that again.
Ramon's like, oh, I'm a theater major. Ramon's like, oh, I'm a theater major. I majored in theater in college.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know that like my 4-year-old acts all the time. Like it's just playing pretend.
So
It's not a real job. It's not hard.
It depends
And
on what you're doing.
Fucking Brad Pitt needs to get the fuck over himself.
So she's saying that
Like.
yeah, I know. I could have made a super cut, but I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
Actors aren't
Like.
actors don't have a real job, but her job of being one of making a video of her eating modeled sized people is just as hard or harder than an actor. Look, I'm not in that field. I have a real job. But
The hypocrisy is just
it's
hilarious.
like very blatant, very blatant. But here's this one here. I'm gonna leave you on just 1 sec though.
Okay.
So feet.
Yeah, feet.
I guess we gotta fucking talk about feet.
We should talk about feet.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're just getting back to that. They talk about, this is my final clip here. Apparently, attractive people, they assume have attractive feet. So here we go.
For life.
Brad Pitt is profoundly overrated.
I like Brad Pitt. I enjoy him as a performer.
I don't think she likes Brad Pitt.
Also, I'm sure he has nice feet.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, more than likely.
I mean, he's a really good looking guy, so probably.
So what I've taken from that is attractive people most likely have attractive feet.
And if you would like to see the We Only Do One Take podcast feed, write to us, and I'm sure that we can sell it for $100 or less,
Hey,
or nearest offer.
nearest or best offer, what is it? OBO, best OBO, look, I was fascinated. I thought it would be a much more entertaining show. And it's not really about, it's more, remember we listened to that podcast about that porn star, Lilu Love? And it was just more about her life rather than the porn industry. Like she was going to Disneyland with her husband and stuff like that. That's what I felt this show was like. But this show here, like the Lilu Love podcast, I think it was like a 30-minute show. And we got a whole bunch of clips and it was great. This show here, this episode here, I listened to just over half of it. That's where all these clips are from. This was 88-minute episode, 90-minute episode, a full-length feature.
Holy shit.
And I can't even, like, I was listening to it go, most of this is just bickering between a couple, you know, about pens and other things like that.
I love it, bickering about pens.
And I was absolutely amazed. So that's the Foot Fetish podcast. I'm very sorry, Jess, that you had to listen to that with me, but thank you for all your assistance, because I don't think I would have picked up as much if you didn't help me out with that one there. But I knew that would be something you would like. But I think you've got to look into something like foot fetish stuff and vor porn, like that sort of stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week it will be the feminist. What is it? Financial feminist
podcast?
Financial feminist.
I think so.
I can't listen to more than 5 minutes at a time. I can't.
They're short episodes as well, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're just... Oh... She's just got... Not all Americans are like that, but she says right all the time. Like, so what you got to do, right? Blah, 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 right?
I hope there's a super clip. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap it up here. For all your wanking needs, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat or a rant, or request to purchase some cinnamon insoles for your shoes, or like some feet pictures of any of the hosts here on the show, email us at weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Kieran, thank you so much. Always a blast having the chat with you, mate.
Always. You never know where this is going to end up.
Never. And you know what, Kieran?
We'll see you guys next Thursday.
Come on, man. Motherfuckers, guys, come on. Give me the 5-star rating, baby. Give me the 5-star. That's all I want, baby. That's all I want. I'll fuck all the beautiful girls in the goddamn world. They'll fuck a 10-star. I just want 5. 5, baby. Just 5.